All right. Hey, so welcome back, Wallace. I'm glad you showed up.
Yeah, man.
Our other guy didn't show up anymore.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in another episode.
Oh, wow. Did you get scared or what?
I don't know, man. All I know is that I hope you don't come to me with a contract.
Oh, fuck. No.
All right, man. Hey, so I just wanted to, I guess, welcome everybody back. We've been out for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, so we're back. And I guess while we were out, there were some developments, some things have changed, and so I wanted to kind of keep everybody up to date of what's going on. So obviously we lost a co-host, but with that, we're just going to keep pressing on. We're going to still keep our podcast. We're going to still do some remotes whenever we can, And another thing is we're going to probably start fiddling in some filmmaking, man. Some small films to begin with. Hell, man, maybe, 20, 30-minute films or something. I don't know. I don't even know what we're getting into, man, but you guys do.
We're going to do some workout videos.
So hey, man, so with that, we immediately called Ahmed. Hey, we subject matter expert.
Who's this guy?
So we brought Ahmed because he's got some experience with short films, right? I think and we'll get into that in our conversation, but I want to start bringing in some people, some photography background, anybody that could possibly help us, right, in developing this and see where that goes. Like I said, obviously we want to keep the podcast. I think that's a communication vessel, right, to that.
Right.
But I think we can have some fun making these films, man.
Yeah,
I think
so.
I think it'd be pretty good.
So.
But so with that, man, thanks for coming out, Ahmed.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited to be down.
Yeah. Yeah. So hey, give us a little just brief.
My name is Ahmed. I'm a film major at UTSA. I do photography and videography and all the other fun stuff. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
All right. So have you ever had experience in doing a short film or like, I guess, give us some examples of some stuff that you've done and that could obviously help us, right? Because remember, we don't know anything, dude.
Yeah.
All we know is, push the VCR, push play. Oh, dude, we're old, right? VCR?
Yeah, no. Hey.
No, scream
Come on,
it.
I did VG. What was that thing called? That little bitty one?
The compact disc?
Yeah, what was that?
Or the laser disc, that big disc?
No, bro. It was VHS. Then they had that small one.
The CD?
No,
Oh,
bro.
the DVD.
Bro, you're late. You're in that.
Oh, the Betamax.
There you go. That shit.
You probably don't even know what that is.
Hey, not to show my youth, but I have no clue at all.
It's what a VHS tape
Yeah.
is. Okay, they made one that was called Betamax, and it was a little bit smaller version, a little compact, right? Forgot about that, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're green, man. We're not green. We don't even know anything, dude. So any help that you can give us, and any experiences and stuff, then
I will say you guys are more well versed than a lot of people because you guys know how to push start on the video camera. Right?
do you?
Yeah, I know.
So
Thank goodness.
we're already
Yeah.
almost there. Yeah, there's a lot to dive into whenever it gets to short film making or video making in general. It's not as cookie cutter as a lot of people would think. There is a lot of like a lab, I would say.
Editing and color grading.
Not
and all
just
shit.
that, but even before those things happen, it's a lot that goes into that. That's very meticulous, for lack of better words.
So planning. There's a lot of planning in it.
A lot of planning. You won't, doing your first one, you won't know what you're missing until you get there and be like, oh shoot, we forgot to do this.
Okay.
But that doesn't make or break the film
Okay.
at all. Things are 110% going to go wrong. While shooting, that's what I had to learn the hard way. And it's how you react to those things with how the film turns out in general. You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
what do you do when you forget, the basic things like record?
You gotta tell them. You gotta shoot that one more time. So that one's not that big of an issue as you would think. It's more so like, oh shoot, I forgot my SD card at home. Everybody has to sit here and wait while I
Be right back.
Yeah, be right back. Those are kind of like the day breakers.
Right.
But push and record is not that much of a big one. Another big one is you seeing something or you're about to record, and you record the scene and you're like, oh, I don't really like that too much. Like we might have to switch it up. Another one is like, oh, I forgot to, or this area is not very well lit. Do we have to either shoot another scene or can we make something work here? Mm-hmm. So with my experience with my short film, some of the scenes that I had envisioned in my head, because that's all you could do really until you get out and get there, just didn't work because either I didn't have the proper lighting for it. The area was a little bit too dim.
And our producer has told me the same thing, that lighting is a big deal, man. Like it's a real big deal because it doesn't matter. You could be in a car, you could be outside, you could be in a bedroom, in the dark. Man, if you can't see it, you can't see it.
So what do you do when you have an all white cast and they have one black guy? Isn't that difficult?
So that's usually, I've never had to deal with that, honestly, but if I were to have to deal with that, right, I would definitely cater to the majority, right?
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't have him looking crazy, obviously. It wouldn't be like super dark or anything, but whenever I would get into post, I would turn down. Like, it's better for it to be exposed than underexposed, because then in post you can play with it. Now, obviously, no one wants to hear, oh, we'll just deal with it in post, because that's a whole nother nightmare, because if it doesn't work, then it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you, in that scenario, one, you just don't cast the all white cast with one black person.
Why not? That's racist.
No. Think about that. Hey, you know what? And we were just talking about that just the other day, right? What? Because when we're talking about, okay, hey, we're trying to do, we're talking about this scenario of the short film, right? And we're like, okay, who do we pick? Well, what nationalities are we looking at here? Right. And then you're like, well, let's just be real, David. Let's just do the real, what it was, right? What you envisioned, right? Or whatever happened. One black guy, one Mexican guy, two white girls, right? So we're all mixed up here, man.
Yeah.
So you bring up something that we didn't even think about. What's the lighting, right? For the Hispanic, for the black, right? It's gonna be different.
Now, so on video cameras, depending on which camera you use, you won't have to manipulate the lighting that much based off of shades of skin tone. It's not that particular as it is with pictures. Now with pictures, yes, for sure, because you're just getting that snapshot. But with video, you are getting like a whole clips on clips on clips on clips on clips. It's like millions of pictures in 5 seconds, right? So it's not, you don't have to be so particular on how you light certain situations.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh, interesting. Man, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, that's why we say we're not even thinking about that right now. It's like something in my head now. It's like, okay, well, I have to revisit that, like, and talk about that. But what about shooting constantly, right? Like you said earlier, you was like, man, I didn't like this particular shot, even though it was only 15 seconds. So do you scrap it or do you keep it? And then you just shoot it another way, and then you shoot it in a different location, and you edit that based on what? Based on what you like, or based on how the flow goes? And I don't.
So one thing that I realized you said, scrap it. 100%. Never, ever, ever, ever delete anything that you're recording at all, because you don't know if that shot is actually better than the other shot because you haven't shot it yet. You know what I'm saying? So like if you get to let's just use the example we've been using. You get to the first location, you're like, oh, I don't really like that shot. Let's go to this other location and shoot this shot. If you were to scrap that and you're like, oh shoot, this one's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you have to use something, right? So it's either you have to go to a third location after everyone's already gone and you're like, hey, this shot is messed up, come here. Like, that's just another headache as it is. So 110%, you're never ever scrapping anything that you shoot. Anything that you shoot can be used at any point of any short film.
So let me ask you, now we're talking about, different shots. What does that mean? That means more data, right? What's the best way to store all this data? Because I mean, you're talking about a lot of data, right? Especially depending on what you're shooting with, right? And how you're going to shoot it, 4K, 8K, whatever. Like, where is it? Cloud? Is it hard drive? Is it
It's a solid state drive, so SSD. I kind of learned more about them because I do work at Best Buy as well.
All right.
But those are practically like moving. So a hard drive or a HDD has all the data in it, but it's just stationary. So you can't do anything with the data while it's in there. It's just somewhere to hold it. A solid state drive allows you to edit everything that in the solid state drive. Like, you can put your editing software in a solid state drive because it's moving. Now, it doesn't have its own brain like a computer or anything, but that's how you would store and edit that data.
So, and I don't know if you know this, would you happen to know how much, if let's say I'm shooting an 8K video movie and it's 20 minutes long, I mean, how much, I'm not going to hold you to it, but guesstimation, how much data are we talking? Are we talking in the terabytes? I mean, are we talking about, because I mean, that's a lot of data, man. And again, like you said, hey, well, man, I didn't like this shot. Let's do it this way. No, I didn't like it there. Hell, even the third one, you know what? Come back next week. We're going to go another location. Hell, you might shoot the same shot 4 or 5 times, right? And you just got to hold that data somewhere. It just keeps piling and piling and piling. I'm just wondering, like, where should we look to invest in some kind of computer or some kind of server, some kind of storage or cloud computing? I mean, what are your
100%. If you don't already, 100% you're gonna need a PC to edit that magnitude of a video. It can't just be edited on any old computer. It needs to have the proper facilities to like power behind the computer to run the softwares, all of the what's it called? The transitions, all of that other stuff, all of the After Effects that you add to it. If any After Effects are added to it, you would 100% need a powerful computer to store.
Or
not
it
just
take you forever. Or even not even.
I don't even. Yeah, your computer might blow up if you just do a regular old computer. And then for the amount of data, I can't even guesstimate how much that would be. I shot in 4K, and it was a 3-minute video, and I think it might have took up a gigabyte. So if we were doing it based off of that, you multiply that. Let's just round it up to 5 minutes. You multiply that by what, 4?
Yeah.
So about 4 or 5 gigabytes of data, but that was the finished product. Now, all of the other clips, I don't even know how much.
Yeah, it could have been. It might have been double or triple that, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I would guesstimate, let's just say 50 gigabytes just to be safe.
50 gig.
Now, I don't think it would be a terabyte or anything like that.
You don't think we get like a terabyte for a 30-minute small film? You think that's safe? And the reason why we are asking, and I guess we got to find this stuff out, right? And we got to figure all that out. But if it does take that much, the question becomes, the main question for me is which route do we go? You know what I mean, Wallace? Like, do we go SSD, 5 terabyte, or do we do a cloud based?
I would have a mixture of several. I would do the SSD. I would do a terabyte, at least of that. Then I would go with cloud, some storage in cloud. And I would do my backups in the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You always 100% have to save a lot of stuff. With that stuff, you might have to get a server because you always want stuff saved in the cloud. Because let's say, God forbid, you go out and shoot the whole thing, right? And you get back and your SD card corrupts. You cannot do anything with any footage that you just stored.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell people as well, make sure you're not getting an SD card that you're just saying, oh, this one holds the most stuff on it. Because if that one does hold the most stuff on it and you're just shooting for, let's say you have an SD card for 2 years and it corrupts, everything you have is lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, and you also have to make sure you have a separate cloud account for the beautiful people like me.
Oh my God.
Gotta have good storage.
Dude, man. Just don't show up. Don't show up here with a, oh, David, here's my contract. I'm going to say you're fired.
Yeah, you ain't contracts.
No. Let me ask you. So did you have, were there people that you shot? Was it a just, you know?
So yeah, I can go and I can give you a little debrief of what I shot. It was a love story gone bad. It was named What Matter, and it was over a song.
One matter?
What Matters.
What matters?
What matters?
It was a song by Frank Ocean, Pink Matters.
Mm-hmm.
Pink Matter, I mean. And throughout the song, the first half of the song, it showed them in a loving relationship. They were doing like the casual boyfriend-girlfriend stuff. And there was a beat switch in the song. And the beat slowed down. It got more melodic, if you'd say. And it kind of showed the other side of the relationship. So it kind of showed them getting into fights, her hitting him, doing a whole bunch of like stuff that's just very toxic in a relationship. Right. And it kind of ended with him eventually taking her back. So I actually kind of lucked out with the actors because my best friend's an actor, and she had friends who were actors as well. So I casted both of them, and with a lot of like the scenes and stuff, it was either in her house, at parks.
Yeah.
We had one. The last day. This is why what I brought up earlier. I needed more film because I was like, this is not enough. Like I need more. I want better shots. And we were at the location in downtown Houston of our last day of shooting. And I was like, I need to use the bathroom. I went into this random bar to use the bathroom. And whenever I went into the bathroom, I was looking around and they had like this little spot in the back that had like a pool table, darts, and all the other stuff. Lighting in there was perfect. So I went up to the bartender, and it wasn't a full night or anything, thank God. And I was like, hey, I'm shooting a short film, and I was wondering if I can use that space back there to shoot. And he was just like, how many of y'all is it? And I was like, it's just 3 of us. And he was just like, I mean, yeah, I don't care. So we went back there and shot for about 30, 45 minutes and just hung out after that. So, yeah, like with what I said earlier, like how that combines with that is you never know what you're going to shoot. Like you can look at a spot and be like, whoa, I know we said we're driving here right now, but I want to go back over that way. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Did you guys follow script? Meaning you didn't deviate from the script, or did you allow your actors to what's the word I'm looking for? Improv. There you go.
So with this one, there wasn't any words being used at all because the music track was over the whole thing. So as far as like improv, I would say I did give them free reign on what they were doing. So for example, during one of the fighting scenes, one of the scenes was him walking through the door and her pushing him. I told them what I wanted out of it. And I was like, you guys make that look as natural as possible. Now, whenever I do go into words being used, unless I'm with a actor, I'm not going to tell them, you have to say this to a T, because then you'll get unnatural conversations.
Yeah.
Because if someone's never acted before, they won't know how to make what you're putting on the script sound real.
So did you use storyboards?
Yes, 100%. One thing I wish I did that I'm doing every single time after is creating a shot list. So the storyboard I wrote was just how I wanted everything to look. How I wanted everything to go based off of the time in the song. So I put like from this time to this time, I want this, and this. And then so for the shot list would have helped me out so much because I would pay. I don't know. You gotta know what a shot list is.
Yeah.
So it would have helped me out because there was times where I knew how I wanted it to look, but I just couldn't think of places to go for that look.
So tell me, does it mess you up when you have a shot list, right? Or you have a storyboard and you go out of sequence?
No, that's actually what I did because it was some days, well, for the first day especially, it was much easier to just shoot at her house because it was just a common spot that everybody could feel relaxed and everybody can get accustomed to shooting. And so I definitely started, I wouldn't say backwards, but I started like middle and then we went to like the beginning and then we went to the end and then we finished off on the beginning. So it was a whole bunch of random stuff. I would say you'd probably stress yourself out if you were just sitting here trying to go based off of the script.
Yeah, that's where I remember we were talking earlier and I told you, I was like, man, so for me, I'm like so detailed, like, okay, she can be wearing this. And
Yeah,
she
man, oh my God, this guy. Hey, bro, you don't need to know what color.
But what I told him is, you're gonna need somebody like me, right? I understand these guys are like, we already know what we want to do. Let's just go out and get them and let's just shoot it. But to me, and I don't know, maybe you can help me here, because I think you do have to have some structure. You got to have structure. You've got to have some kind of plan, or, you know, I guess in the scripting and, you know, the shots and what do you really want to be even displayed on the shots, right? Like we're trying to backtrack, right? We're trying to shoot this, I think, where it was a 2014, 2016. So I'm thinking, okay, we shoot, you know, let's say one particular one, then I want some kind of calendar in the background that shows 2014 or 15 or whatever, while, you know, he just walks by and it sees it, right? And it just...
Bro, this is your problem, Dave. This is your problem.
Now
Look,
I want to say...
Hey, well, hold the hell up. We're going to get to Mr. Writer's, like, something. He's going to be writing and changing and writing forever. We're never going to get anything done.
Now, I will say... that will 120% make whatever you're shooting so much better. Those small details literally make or break.
There you go, man.
So let me put it like this. Have you ever been watching something and something so small at the beginning turns out to be the biggest deal ever at the end?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
where that comes from. That's where...
That's what I said.
Coming, like, thinking, like, so far ahead, that's where that gets you. And you're like, oh, my gosh, this movie is the best movie ever because all of these little details added up to the
wait
end.
till I tell him. I'll do it off because I don't want anybody to... But I have to tell you after the pod, right? I'll tell you kind of a little briefly what we're trying to do here. I have my idea. Everybody's going to have their ideas, and I want everybody to have input, right? Because I think it's important. But I'm kind of like that, right? There's something that has to happen, and those, I don't know, 2 to 5 minutes.
Agreed.
That takes that until the end, and then because you'll always remember, oh, so that's what it was. Now I understand the message, right, of the movie. So that's what I was trying to do. But
no, you're just no. Don't try to use that. You're just like meticulous.
yeah,
Hey, I'm telling you, writing this stuff, because you would want someone like him, because you don't understand how many times, because I did everything by myself. Well, not by myself. I had crew members with me some days,
Right.
but for the most part, I did a lot of stuff by myself. And storing everything in my head, I should have wrote it down. I had a lot going on, but storing everything in my head, I forgot so many things on so many days, and I had to do makeshift this, makeshift that. Oh, I need this. Let me see what I can do with this. And like, I just wish I had someone who was just very, very detailed.
Yeah.
And wrote everything out and planned for months and months.
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm trying to do it by scene, by shoot. So I look at the 6 shoots, right? The 6 locations of shoots, and I start with that. And then I just start to write again. You know, they're not the actors. We don't want them to say that verbatim, right? But I want them to read it. And then we also gave them character, right? We were talking. We gave them each character, right? Yeah. Hey, your name is going to be, you know, Jill, right? Yeah. And Jill, this is who you are. You're, you know, a college student. This is your hobbies. This is your blah blah. This is you, right? And so I told them, I said, let's do that and let's give it to them, right? So they can get into that character, and then they can improv based on, hey, I know who I am, right? Mm-hmm. And then you look at the scene, and then you go through the scene and you read through the scene, and you see what you're gonna say. Maybe you want to say something else, and that's cool. That's fine. I just put it in there because, you know,
it's a guide.
It's a guide, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think it'll work out, man.
I will 100% say, make sure, unless it's just like what they say in the moment's like really good, make sure like they're not just going all willy-nilly. Obviously, you guys know that. Like, nobody's Robert Downey Jr. who could just come up with something off the top of their head.
Yeah.
But I will say a lot of times people are like, oh yeah, I can act. Yeah, I can act. I can do this. And then like once they get the camera on them, they're like, because like I said earlier, it's like
stage fright.
Yeah, it's like what's it called? It's not a natural conversation like how we're having right now. Like it would be harder if we had to talk about something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We had to,
based on what you want the people, the director, whoever, what they want you to talk about, how they want you to talk about it, what that whole thing, right? And so it's like that, right? So. And then we're talking about casting. So we don't know. I mean, we're going to go down the street and say, hey, you want to act in this short. I mean, we don't know. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's something that maybe you can help us with,
So, yeah, 100%. I would put out a casting call.
Ooh.
What that is it could be anything from, hey, slide up on my story or hit me up in my DM if you want to be a part of this, or a little bit more professional way of doing it would probably be like making a Google form and like having someone put their name, age in the Google Drive, and I would say, hey, we're shooting a short film about this, that, and the third. If any of these categories you fall under, fill out this Google form if you would like to be a part of this. Now, that's a harder way of doing it. I mean, that's not that hard of a way of doing it, but you will see that maybe not everyone wants to do a short film. That's how I found actors from my short film and actors from my other short film. I kind of found by word of mouth, like some of my friends, because I'm in college, so it's a lot easier to just network and find people.
Right, because they ain't got nothing else to do, right? I mean,
Yeah, might as well go shoot a short film.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will say, like, for a higher age group, 100% you would have to do a casting call via social media.
Let me and I don't know if maybe I don't even know if I should ask you this, but and you can tell me. Now I don't want to talk about it. What about so let's say we get some people, right, and I know we laugh about this contract, right, but are we going to get people that are going to want, hey, well, what if this movie makes it big? What's in it for me, right? You can always hear that, right?
Yeah, 100%. So, a funny story, whenever I put out my casting call, people hit me up, and, like, some of them had the decency to wait until I at least explained what was going on. But, like, some people hit me up, it was like, how much am I getting paid? It's like, bro, you have never acted a day in your life. Why would I put that? That's like me hiring someone off the street saying, hey, can you come fix my roof? And, like, he's like, oh, yeah, help me with my roof? Oh, yeah, how much you going to pay me? Like, you don't know how to do it. So, like, why would I pay you if you don't have experience to do it?
Exactly.
So, you're definitely 110% people, 110% going to get people who are like, how much are you guys paying?
But hold the hell up. I presented a glamour shots to them and told them that I need to get paid for my glamour
shots. Dude, that's like 1980s shit, dude. Did you go to Olin Mills or what? Where you're like this.
That's Please help.
Come on, man. No, so I guess we need to let those people know from the get go.
Oh, yeah.
So look, man, doing a short film. Before I even tell you about it, before I tell you anything about it, you ain't getting paid. Now, if it does make something, or if it and there is, obviously we're gonna be sharing,
Yeah.
man. We're not gonna hold out, man. I mean, I'm not like that. I know producer here and you guys, man, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, and there's so many people out there that know that some big studio is going to want some kind of, hey, send me a short film of yourself or whatever, and you already have it.
You already have
They
it.
already have it.
You already have it with us.
We're helping
and
them out.
So it's kind of it's a win-win, right? We're
Yeah.
trying to do something, and at the same time, like you said, we're helping them establish a portfolio, right? If that's what they want to
I
do.
will say another thing might be Facebook groups as well. I haven't looked at too many Facebook groups out here for this particular, but I know there's a Houston filmmaker Facebook group for like Houston filmmakers. I joined that to try to get some insight on like maybe what I needed for the short film or ask some questions. But there might be a San Antonio actors Facebook group, and that might be a place where people are looking for work for free.
Yeah.
And better yet, you're working with actors, just not somebody random off the.
Yeah, and like I said, it I think it's a win-win, right? They know we're not gonna pay, man, because we ain't got no money,
We
man.
got no money.
We
we
ain't got
got-
no money, man.
They had some cameras, but that's about it.
That's it, man. Got a camera and a laptop. No, for sure. Like, yeah, we have to do that. We so, man, we'd love for you to join, man. Join us, and maybe give us a little help, and in the, I guess in return for you, I guess more experience for you,
Oh, yeah,
right?
for
And
sure.
I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
it's
So why film?
So I started off with photography, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was fun. Getting out and shooting people was something I like to do. I did a lot of free work at first.
Shooting people how? On camera?
With the camera.
All
of
right.
course.
Okay.
With the camera. Yeah. It was a good catch. But going out, I did a lot of free work at first because I wanted to build my portfolio with also practicing how to use the camera.
Right.
And I was having a blast. But then I started to dabble in video a little bit, and then I love TV shows, right? And I was like, what if I get into video, or what if I get into film, right? So I started thinking of ideas on how to like get into film, and whenever I came out with the idea of my first short film, I was like, nah, this process seems way more fun, way more creative. I don't know, creating something out of thin air is some of my favorite things to do. I feel like I'm a very creative person. So the ability to just go out and create, especially something that gives people emotion, makes people feel a certain way. Yes, you could do that with a picture, but with video, like a movie can make you cry. It can make you happy.
Yeah.
It can make you sad. It can make you do anything that you feel. It can make you feel mad. So I feel like through video, you can do that a lot more than with picture. That's why I kind of fell in love with the idea of film.
Very, very cool. Do me a favor. Do not do stereotypical film. Please.
No, I won't.
Neither Hispanic or black.
No.
Do something creative, new, fresh.
Another reason why I kind of wanted to get into the film world was because I don't want to sound like a revolutionary or anything, but I noticed
not?
the lack of black films there are now. And before y'all
There
say
are a lot of
films.
black films, but
But-
they're all stereotypical bullshit. I
Yeah.
hate that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't have movies like Friday anymore,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or Menace to Society. And like, I was like, well, what happened? Like, whenever you watch a movie and you're like, I grew up black, like that's not how I acted. Like what? Like I wouldn't say that in that scenario.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lack for a lot of that now.
Oh, okay.
So with this next one, I want to start going in that direction. I obviously want to have a variety, but I want to try to make something like that. Well, the next one I'm gonna work on eventually.
That's cool.
I want to start going into films like that more so.
So more real of what it really is, right? What the experience was, right? Rather than somebody's made up, script that they say, oh no, say it like that, do it like this, right? So
yeah, I want somebody to sit back and be watching one of my video or films and being like, this happened to me and my homeboys last week.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
we said the same exact thing, the same exact way. Yeah.
The thing like with Friday and some of those films, right? Why do we laugh? We're laughing at ourselves because of what they're doing and what they're saying.
And you can relate.
And you're laughing, right? And that's why they become so big, right? I mean, it's huge. But hey, let me ask you, Ahmed, equipment. What kind of equipment do you use, or what did you shoot with, or?
I shot on a very, very base camera. I shot on a Sony A7 II that came out in 2014. And I got gifted a light panel from one of my uncles because he does a whole bunch of moving stuff. And he was moving some people out who just didn't want it, wanted to throw away. He was like, oh, my nephew can use this. He does video. And I used that, and then I bought another light from Best Buy. And those were really the only thing. Oh, and I also got gifted a gimbal from my mother. And so those are the 3 things or 4 things, I guess you could say, I used throughout the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
And understanding how to use those things are going to make me a lot better in the long run. Because if I used the best of the best equipment at the start, then I won't know how to manipulate things later on.
I agree.
Like on the audio part, like when you're shooting with just the camera. Again, I don't know, man. I'm just asking the questions. So I'm shooting a camera, right, or making a movie or short film or whatever. And if I don't have like what do they call those with the mic?
A boom mic.
Yeah. Close to so that I can grab his audio good, and I'm standing back here and I'm trying to get a bigger shot. Then the audio's going to sound kind of like this, right? It's not going to sound like this.
Well, it depends on the mic.
So
no, I'm talking about on the camera though. Right.
So with the boom mic setup, you're thinking about the right way, but it's just something that's a little bit different. The boom mic setup, one, you have headphones on like this, so you can hear the audio that's coming in. You can adjust the intensity of it, so you can turn it up and down and get it right.
Okay.
But it has its own SD card in it, so it's not connected to the camera. I don't know.
Right. I think then obviously you're gonna need a some kind of editing tool that you can plug in, the audio, maybe some noises that you want to input in there that you couldn't grab, maybe it's an outside and you want traffic or you want birds in the background or some shit, and so all that stuff, right, it's all stacked on top of each other, so you need an editing tool to do all that. I guess what I was saying is more so like for something I think I think we really need to look at this, right, is if we're going to do this
B-roll kind of stuff.
Well, I think we're going to need that, man. Because the shots, based on what you guys were talking, they're not going to be close. I mean, there's going to be some long shots. And so people are going to be 20 feet away, 10 feet away, and we got to capture that audio. It's too far.
So one thing I will say, once you get there, you could just test things out. You could see, let's say I want to shoot something over there, right?
Yeah.
And I want a wider shot. You can see if you can get the audio from out of the frame while still standing next to him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just outside of him. So if this is the end of the frame, you're standing right here. Somebody's standing out here with a mic or something, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
To capture him, even though he's maybe turned around or you're whatever, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I get what you're saying now. Yeah. You would have to just play with the mic positioning to see where the best sound you can get while not obviously being a mic. Because I mean, you could go through and mask the guy out, but that's a whole nother headache.
Let me ask you. So right now, let's say if I go to Best Buy and I tell you, hey, Ahmed, I want to shoot short film, man, for my family. What's the best camera? What's the best piece of equipment I can get, for that?
to be able to do that? What would you say is the best?
I would just point you to a Sony FX3. That camera is a beast camera. It's just so many things I can just go on all day about that camera.
Now there are some cameras that are quote unquote Netflix ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I guess. Do you know? I guess could you talk about that? Because I don't know anything. I just heard that term. It's Netflix ready. I'm like, what does that mean?
I've heard that a couple of times. I don't know too much about what people are talking about when they say that, but I'm assuming that's a camera that you can go out and shoot with, and it can end up on Netflix. Because you've never seen a low quality Netflix movie, right?
Right.
Even like some movies that don't come out in theaters, you'll see them on Netflix, and it's never going to be low quality.
Right.
So those cameras those productions can be shot on X, Y, and Z camera. Now, for those cameras, I don't know which cameras those are. I would assume maybe some Blackmagic cameras. Those are really good with shooting films. But as far as like practicality of a camera, and I would go with the FX3 100%.
Let me ask you, man. I'm asking all the questions.
Ooh,
You want to ask?
I'm sorry. Let me add one more thing. Also the red Komodo dragon. That one might be what they're talking about.
Is that a camera?
Yeah, it's a red camera. It's from the Red line.
It's like $3,000 or something, right?
Yeah, that camera is super, super expensive. That one might be the one they're talking about when they say
Yeah.
Netflix ready, because that camera is pretty badass.
Man, hope we get a good tax return. Hey, so what I was gonna say next is attire, makeup. Did that play anything in your film or not really? Or
Yeah, for sure, because we did have scenes where they were in the house, and the house scenes, something that I'm glad I caught. You can't have them wearing the same thing in every house scene, right?
Right.
Because not everything took place in one day.
Right.
So even if we're still in the house, you got to go change. We're in the kitchen now, right?
Yeah.
We're in the bedroom. We're on the couch. So you have to go change.
Yeah.
So it's like things that I'm
I
glad
didn't
I
think
caught.
about that.
Yeah.
and see, that's where people like me come in, man. 'Cause I'm gonna say,
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm
see?
gonna capture all that,
Yeah.
right? So I'm already asking all the right questions, right? I mean, to whenever I'm doing all this, and so like I started with one scene, and I said, oh, I can probably put, I can put all that in one, maybe just one or two paragraphs, dude. I'm on page 2 already.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot that I'm thinking about, right? And maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's
the
okay.
Introductory scene or what?
Yes.
Damn, dude.
So I have a question for you. When you say you're writing a page full of stuff, what are you writing? Are you just writing everything you think of?
Again, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing, man. What I'm doing is I'm picturing what I think it should look like in the opening scene or in a shoot, right? So right now I'm doing I'm doing the shoot, the scene 1, right? So I'm thinking, okay, how do I want it to look? How do I want it to show up on a screen, right? When I'm sitting there watching. And so I start thinking about it and I just start writing it. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. I want the screen to be black, dark, nothing on it. And then all of a sudden you hear a TV and something's playing from that time period. Okay. And then you hear people talking, a man and a woman. And then it just kind of comes right like that, comes in, right? And then they're in the kitchen and there's a dialogue there. They're happening, right? And that's when I was telling you about, I want to capture the guy walking, next to the kitchen, and then there's a, 2016 or 15, 14, calendar. So I'm typing that on. The guy walks in the kitchen, somewhere in the kitchen, and this should be caught. Then I say, okay, the woman is sitting down, drinking a cup of coffee, using a 2010 Apple laptop, right? What kind of hairstyle should she be wearing? What kind of attire should she be wearing? All this stuff, man, like everything down to maybe I'm getting too detailed.
No. Like, that's perfect. Like, whenever you're a director, right? Or, so different people have different roles. you have your director, you have your screenwriter, you have your producer, you have your gaffer, guy on light, all that other stuff, right? If a director has a really, really, really good screenwriter, the film is going to come to life because the director's job is to make sure everything goes the way he envisions it going. And the screenwriter puts everything into motion. So a lot of things that the director wasn't thinking about, like the little details, are added in by the screenwriter, and that's what makes it go, right? Like directors get a lot of credit, but I think screenwriters definitely need credit as well, because especially in those like intricate movies.
Because what I want to do is be able to provide Wallace, and David here, kind of a booklet, right? Each one a booklet, and just say, here, man, here's the way I think it should look. You guys can change it up and make your mark. No, we don't need that. We don't need that. But hey, can you add this to it? I want to be able to do that, right? Based on what they're telling me, right? The story that they're telling me, hey, this is the story we want to tell, right? So they tell me the story, and automatically I just type it out how I think it should play out, right? But I'm also thinking of what's the message, right? There's got to be emotion. So I want it to be, happy. I want to see love. I want to see sadness. I want to see anger, and then I want to see love at the end, right? And then in the beginning, I want to know. I want to talk about like a certain phrase, something that's right there during that first scene, that somehow or another comes back to the end that gives that message without having to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
So that's what I'm trying to do. And then, like I said, I just give it to them. These guys can check it out.
I would 100%. I'd say this help you out so much too. I would create a shot list, right? So
I got a shot list.
You have a shot list already?
Yep.
So with that shot list, I would use it to just put literally everything together. So instead of, do you have the shots above the
Yeah. So what I'll do is like right now, shot one, I call it the kitchen, right? That's the shot one, right? And then I put down there who's going to be in the kitchen.
Oh no,
for the
no. The shot list that I'm talking about is pictures, like actual pictures of maybe movie scenes or TV shows that has happened before that will help you envision it. Envision what you're.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So if you,
I didn't think about that.
Like, let's say I'm watching Wolf of Wall Street, and there was a scene, like whenever he was beating on his chest.
Yeah.
And I want to imitate something like that, like a big kumbaya or a big rise up happening in mine. I would put that on my shot list so I can help myself envision, okay, this is kind of how this is going to look.
Oh, didn't think about that. Yeah, I could put that on there. Yeah. And then that way when I print it out and they look at it, then they're going to know, oh, I see what he's trying to do. Okay, I get it. Even though, they're going to read it, they're going to just go back to that picture, right? It's more.
One of the things I learned from doing the short film was you think you're making like perfect sense in your head because you can see it. But once you like try to explain it to somebody else,
they're like, what the hell?
What are you talking about? Like, no, that doesn't make any sense at all. Or they'll be like, yeah, I get it, but they don't get it fully. But then you like show them what you were saying, they're like, oh, whoa, this is pretty good, right? So,
gotcha. Hey, that makes good sense. Thanks for that pointer. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna put that on there. So, well, cool, man. Well, man, I know we got a lot. I mean, we can probably go all night, man, talking about shit like this, man. But it is something that we are gonna do. It's not a matter of if. We're gonna do it, right? And so I think right now we're literally just in the talking mode. We understand.
We're not in the talking mode. You actually started writing.
So I started writing already.
So it's not in talking mode.
So once I write it out, right, then I can just print it out, give it to you guys, and then just say, hey, man, read it and put your own notes on there, right? Yeah. What you think. And then I can go back, I can rewrite it, or we get together, and then you tell me exactly how, while I'm writing it, then you can tell me, hey, this is the way I would like to see it, or this is what, what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And that way when we have a finished product, right, we're ready,
then at that point, then we start talking about, you know, equipment,
Contracts.
you know, good one.
I like that one. Good one.
So we thought, you know, and then we just start going on to the next steps and the next steps, right? Because I know it's a process. It's not. Oh, you know, we're gonna shoot next week. No, it's not gonna happen, right? That's gonna take a while. So, but you know, I think we can do it, man.
Yeah,
I think we got the right people
We can.
here.
We can do it.
And so, man, I hope you know you join and
for sure.
hang on, you know, come with us on this journey, man, on this thing here, trying to figure out how to do this stuff.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize as well is all you need is a camera and a script to be a filmmaker. Like a lot of people think it's like such a hard job to do, but I mean everybody has an imagination, right? Like you can think of something, right? So a lot of people kind of fall under the pressure of, oh, it has to be perfect. And like I'm not saying don't go out and put your
Try
best
to
foot
make it,
forward,
yeah.
but it's not gonna be perfect, right?
Yeah.
There's like even in movies, like $1 million production movies,
Yeah.
you can see mess ups. Like
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
stuff that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So like, don't. Well, the biggest advice I would have to anyone who's making their first of anything is don't try to make it too perfect.
All right, man. Well, hey, Ahmed, thanks for joining us, man. And like I said, I hope you know you hop on this thing, man, with us, and we'll stay in touch, man. And we got to do
Thank
this
you for
again,
having
man.
me. Of
I know it's
course.
got to be a part 2 and a part 10, man.
Of course.
As we get through this, right?
Of course, yes.
Shit, it'd
Thank
be
you for
nice, man.
having
To
me.
kind of it would be nice as we do it. We do this and sit down and talk about it,
Yeah,
right? That'd be kind of cool.
fire.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, we'll see you guys on the next one.